Nigerians, Aisha Yesufu don set internet on fire. Make una lis ten to dis video. Aisha Yesufu don expose Tinubu. In the history of the world, nobody go fit tell Tinubu wetin dis woman just tell am for im face for inside dis particular video, and nobody go fit expose wetin dis our sister dey expose for inside dis particular video about Tinubu. Make una come hear our own reaction for dis interview wey just granted some few seconds ago. For dis video, our own reaction for so many questions wey be like say dey answer for inside dis particular video about the happenings in dis country and Tinubu and 2027. But na wetin she come tell Peter Obi at the ending of dis particular video. Na wetin I wan make hear.
Fantastic. So let's move on. We can move on now.
Yeah, let's move on.
You also commented on Babachi Alawa's interview you did here. Yes, you said you liked the part where he said he was going to back Mr. Peter Obi, that was going to support Peter Obi and Kwam Council. But then you also now said you didn't like the part, you questioned why he would say, can Bola Ahmed Tinubu be defeated? Why?
Yes, I think, what I felt was that there's this thing where people, okay, now, let me start from somewhere.
Yeah.
You know all this why they used to say 20 years, that Mr. I'm very careful when I say this because they cut out certain parts. And then they will now look at those people that used to say that Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a master planner. Master strategy. We didn't see the strategy. We see the planner. Because I don't want them to take that just part. Because they're very, anything Aisha, they're looking for. Where was it? So there's an allusion that is given to Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu that he doesn't have. And some of them, they keep, and unknowingly, they keep feeding onto this thing. It's an illusion, an illusion. It's not real. First of all, we knew how we were being told that, he was the one that did 20 years plan in Lagos. He can bring in people. He knows how to employ people or get the right people for. Where has it? Where have you seen it? If the right result was declared, we would have been hearing that, if it was Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he would have done A, B, C, D. It's the same thing. When in 2022, we were saying that he's going to be defeated in Lagos, many people said it can't be done. The reason why Lagos election was rigged. The only thing was that it was too big to be rigged, right? For them to get a win. So what they did was to rig it to reduce the shame of the numbers of the defeat. And in many other states, Plateau and in many other states, that same thing happened. So when they keep giving him this thing that there's something, there's nothing. You understand? One of the things, they keep talking about is that Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I've heard this several times, that there's nobody he cannot bribe. I say it's the people that allow themselves to be bribed that he can bribe. Yes, he has the money, no doubt about it. We cannot outspend APC or Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu because for every 1,000 naira that any candidate brings, Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu and APC will bring $1,000 to match it, and because they have the coffers of this thing. We've seen the monies that have been spent, the projects that have been massive, inflated projects and all of that. So the money or whatever is not the issue. But guess what? It's the passion. It is in the passion that we will outpassion them. People are tired. People are not going to listen. They are very good. APC is very good with propaganda, right? But you cannot do propaganda with hunger. There's no how you're going to be telling someone there's no hunger in the land and the person's stomach is rumbling from hunger, that the person will listen to your own propaganda and not to the rumbling of their tummy. So for me, I think it's a place where they think he has it or he doesn't. He is actually struggling. And I'll give you a few examples. I just gave you one. For me, which I felt, and when I sit down and say, for the person that they call master strategist, I can see this is the worst case of strategy that there is. First of all that drama with, Mr. Nasir El-Rufai, what was the need of it? Even if you had said, first of all, we knew that the National Assembly, that one that is under his pocket, they didn't act on their own. Even if you now did that, what stopped you from calling a Nasir El-Rufai and say, forget about those things. I want you to be in a position where you can do so much more. Can I look for something else? Get something else. Why cause a quarrel where there's no need for there to have a quarrel? And this, and that's why for me personally, I might be wrong, the very reason why they are holding on to, they've arrested Nasir El-Rufai and kept him incarcerated. Is that the right word? Yeah. Is the fact that they are afraid of him. Of what he can. They know that if it's madness for madness, he go get that, he go stand anybody, and you know they fear. This is someone that you know you give him that whatever, like him or hate him, you know that he's someone who is courageous. When he believes in something, he will go all out, and he doesn't mind putting his life on the line. What was that all about? There was no need, right? That's one. Let us go to Lagos State. That Obasa saga, what was the essence? To what end?
The Speaker of the Lagos State House of
Yes,
Assembly.
the Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, where he was removed. He brought him back. There is something I will always miss out. I think they call it APC something. Is it GC something in Governorship Council? I don't know whether it's AGC or something.
Governors Advisory Council.
Yeah,
GAC.
or GAC, yes.
GAC.
You see that GAC, there was a bit of, so, you know, remember what I said to you earlier, I connect dots, right? And I look at things and I go, the way that whole thing went, it wasn't the way that anybody who really is a strategist should go with things. The first thing was that Obasa was removed. Then they all came to Abuja, plus the deputy governor, everybody of them.
No, you missed the critical part. Obasa was removed. They put in a woman. A woman was appointed or elected amongst the legislators, Lagos State House of Assembly, as new speaker, sworn in. And then they came to Abuja, and the man insisted, that's brother insisted, she must be removed.
That's where I'm going to. I remember that. I remember that woman standing and saying that
Exactly.
no matter what, I will stand up. So that's what I'm telling you. When you're talking about strategy, there is no in a word, the smallest thing that you will overlook might end up, bringing you down. Where I'm going to with this, they came in and they installed that woman here, and he brought them back in. And before then, I remember there was one man, I don't know who he is, but within that, this is where he said, Mr. Tinubu is not God, or it's not something, he cannot tell them what to do. They were angry, that back and forth. Before, at the end of the day, they removed that woman, Miranda.
Exactly, Miranda.
I followed that thing, but they removed her, and then they put back Obasa. Those people in that distance, there are some people who will be aggrieved. Because, whatever you do, don't take away the dignity of a man or woman. Because when you do that, you slight someone to show the person, say, be anything. As a leader, it's better you absorb this, even if they disrespect you as a leader, take it more than when you see that person that does that place at that person. There were quite a number of people, that were angered by that. That's something. There are many of such examples all over, the country of some of these things that he has done. So he doesn't have as much. And let me also tell you why for me I felt this statement. Many people who believe that Tinubu will do what happened in Lagos in Nigeria, they've seen that it's not the case. What happened, one of the things people forget is that Lagos State was a major beneficiary of the reforms that Obasanjo did, based on the position where a lot of, headquarters and whatever are there. That's another story on its own. So it's not really him. So people who believe in that has been disappointed. There are people who believed in 2022 that Mr. Peter Obi was the most credible candidate, most competent candidate. But in 2022, they felt that the party that he was in, Labour Party, we always believe if it's not a PDP or APC, it will not be a DC. Those people have seen that is not the case, and they are now willing and ready to know that they are not wasting their voice, they will support it. So there's so many things that this whole thing that they think that Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu has the strategy, has whatever. No, it's not. And by the way, you can see how they are already afraid, even with the fact that they have 30-something governors with them. USA, they are the ones that are still more afraid than anything. And before I even ask the question, PDP once upon a time had almost 30 or even more than 30 governors. It didn't stop them from being driven out of Aso Rock. Neither would it stop APC from being driven out.
From what you said now, Madam Aisha, so you actually believe that President Tinubu is a walkover in next year's election?
If I don't believe it, why would I be? Why would I be sitting with you? I would have been outside traveling around the world. I was actually tired traveling. When you were calling me to come and do it, I wasn't in this country. I was going around. I would have just been traveling around the world. Why would I come and sit and be part of the election if I don't believe that Tinubu will be defeated?
Do you actually understand, understand the capacity of the man, President Bola Ahmed? Do you understand the sheer capacity? When I mean capacity, I'm saying the length he's willing to go to.
I understand the evilness he's willing to
No, I didn't say evil. That's
Aisha
okay.
Yesufu said so. Are you the one? Let me have my interview now. Now you dey fear. No talk now. Don't bring me to this thing. I understand his level to go as evil as anything. And I've always said, If you want to defeat evil, you must think evil, but you must have the discipline not to do evil. But if you tell me in terms of capacity, where is it on the ground? 3 years. He's been your president for over 3 years. Where is the capacity? Don't you see it? Let me tell you something. Tinubu had every opportunity, because nobody expected, most people did not expect much from him. When less is expected of you, when you do little things, people will clap and say, he had opportunity to put himself on the path of doing good for people, so that people would have been saying things like, even though he rigged election, but he couldn't do that. When you are in government, re-election is not the time for you to be selling yourself to the people. The day you are sworn into office is the day you begin to sell yourself to the people by the work that you have done. Even simple thing. This is someone who is, we've known him, quote and unquote, to be a billionaire, even in dollars, they say his own money. How the money came about, I don't know, but this is what we know. What do you come and you are needing presidential yacht? You are needing presidential aircraft. You're needing renovation of this, of that, of monies being this thing. When people are dying of hunger, you couldn't do that. So what capacity are you telling me? But let me tell you something. If the question you're trying to ask me is that whether I'm afraid of Tinubu winning, no. Tinubu is easier to defeat today than it was in 2023 when we defeated him.
Let me put the question in a different way. Madam Aisha, have you seen in recent memory in this Fourth Republic, this is the fifth president, Obasanjo, Yar'Adua, Jonathan, Buhari, and then now President Tinubu. The 4 previous presidents, have you seen any of them? Even Obasanjo, who was a retired military general, former head of state, same with President Buhari, retired former head of state, retired military general. Did any of the 4 previous presidents bestride the landscape, the nation's landscape, have all critical institutions under lock, stock, and barrel? Have you seen any one of them? Control every lever of government. Control governors. I mean, state leaders, state rulers, let me use the word Nigerians love to use, rulers in their own rights. Cower them into submission. Have you?
Oh my goodness. You know one of the things I'm thinking about, I'm like, before we started this interview, I should have made sure that I was also doing this recording so that I'll have a raw this thing, and I'll edit the ones I'll put on my YouTube.
We don't edit our videos, though.
Except
maybe one or two things.
Let me, because I really want this thing that I'm going to say to you, I really want it out there. First of all, Mr. Tinubu is one person that does not have the courage to put in people in office or in position that are better than him or bigger than him. That is the behavior of a coward. So what you always want is to have people that are less than you, that cannot stand up. So this is how Tinubu operates. He looks for someone who ordinarily would never get into a position, right? And he puts that person in position. And you must not dare to aspire beyond what he has given you aspiration for. So by putting in people whom, like in my own place, they say MU. My people is kind of people in position, then you can be able to lock them down.
What does that mean in English, please?
Like, you know what MU or like all there. Person when they say they no get head like Mugu. That.
Nigerians
Mugu. No, when they say person for Mugu,
yes,
okay,
exactly.
Let's say Mugu,
exactly.
Yes, in the palace of
exactly.
Mugu. So you put them in position for you to be able to control them, and then whatever it is you say to them, that they do. So courage that's not courage. That's being cowardly. For example, Obasanjo had the courage to be able to put people in office that he knows will look him in the eye and say, Oga, this is not how it's going to be. He didn't do that. So doing the thing in a way that it's wrong, then you lock down the system. Is that what we should be applauding? For example, with an Obasanjo, he had people who will come out like a Nasir El-Rufai. You saw him, coconut head. He did a lot of
Even
things. I'm going to that. He did a lot of things. To the extent, Obasanjo had to go to the National Assembly and say, you people, please, it's not his fault. I take responsibility.
Exactly.
That's a leader who is courageous, who is not afraid, who does not have insecurity issues. Because Tinubu has insecurity issues. He has he's not the man he thinks he is. Let me put it that way. You have to be a manly man. And you have nothing to prove for you to be able to put people who can stand up to you. That's what some of those leaders, and I'm going to do with Obasanjo. You saw Dr. Obi Ezekwesili, who even went to them and said when they were doing their third term agenda thing, and they put her name or whatever in one of the videos, went to them and said no. They stood in front of you and said, oh God, don't go for this third term. These are people with courage. You then will not take it as someone who brings in people and say, just sit where I put you. Anywhere you are going is where I tell you to go. If you dare to go above it, you then in problem. We saw what happened with Fashola, right? Fashola's first term. After his first term, when he was going for a re-election, literally, if it was not Lagos people that stood and said, no, this man, he has been working for us, he probably would not have gotten his son. We saw what happened, with Ambode. The thing with Tinubu is that he will look for, and you've seen it even in some of the appointments that he has made. People that ordinarily are not deserving or anything, should not even be in that place. Put them there, you know that it's not your capacity that brought you here. It's not your whatever. It's the fact that I want you, so you must play ball. That's the difference. Is that what has worked for the country? Is that what I should not sit down and be afraid of? Someone that is even insecure in himself has to have people that he can be the one to say, I'm better than those people. A good leader, you know what a good leader does? A good leader looks for people who are better than him or her, so that they will, and gives them a vision, they will go with it and they will go on with it. The kind of room that Obasanjo, if I look at the current national security advisor, he was the reason why I got my voter's card in 2011. I always said this story. But today, even if he comes to run for councillor, I will not even vote for him.
You're speaking of Nuhu Ribadu.
Yes, he knows. I've said it to him several times when we've met. Nuhu Ribadu, yes. Because during when he was EFCC chairman, the things he did,
the passion,
you understand, integrity,
exactly.
Standing against all these people who were corrupt. He was doing in EFCC what Dora Akuyili was doing in NAFTA. So I was like, wow. Even standing up to Delta when they tried to bribe him, was it with how many $1 million? In those days, he said no, all of those things.
James Ibori.
James Ibori. So when he was running for president, because for me, the first time I voted was 1993. So when that election was cancelled, I voted for MKO Abiola. When the election was cancelled, right? I was like, I will never vote again in Nigeria, because I was so excited. That was my first time of vote. I was 19 at that time. Yes, now I can vote. I can decide who becomes president of Nigeria and who governs Nigeria. Then it was, when it was cancelled, I vowed I would never vote again. So I didn't vote in 1998, 1999, when this thing was coming. I didn't vote in 2003. I didn't vote in 2007. Then 2011, I voted. Why? Because Nuhu Ribadu was a presidential candidate. I was like, okay, yes, we have someone who is courageous and great. So I campaigned for him in my little way. Where I was, I voted, I voted for him. But today, I'm not going to. Why am I saying this? You see the way those people could act. Because they are leaders who don't have insecurity, who are manly in themselves, who know they are who they say they are. And so even if they have someone in their team standing up and being strong, they are not threatened. Tinubu is threatened by anybody's manliness or womanliness. So he wants to be the oga in the room. He is not who he says who he thinks he is. And you see it that being reflected. But there's always one thing that I've said in the way that, Mr. Tinubu had acted and done things in the last 3 years. It makes me think that there might be something, because of course, his root, nobody knows his root. Nobody knows who he is. Nobody knows what the truth, whatever, blah, blah, blah is. There might be something that was done to him, whether Nigeria did to him or some elders in Nigeria did to him, that now he's at the place where he needs to punish Nigeria. Pay back. The suffer where I suffer as a child. You people, you showed me.
Thank you for watching that video. So guys, before you leave, look at it down here. Do well to subscribe and also put on notification bell so that whenever we upload any video in this great platform, you will be the first to see it. And please don't forget to drop your comment at the comment section what you think about this video, your opinion as well. See guys, this is where I'm going to end the video, and I will see you guys some other